Futures point to a flat open on Wall Street as Dow component Alcoa kicks off earnings season after the close. German Chancellor Merkel and French President Sarkozy meet in Berlin to further discuss deepening concerns around the Eurozone debt crisis. I'm Jill Malandrino, and the morning call starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com.
And I'm Jill Malandrino with The Street, and together we bring you the Morning Call Express. So we started 2012 just like we ended 2011. Very flat last week, with Tuesday bringing the most positive action. But we've got a really busy week for you on tap. We have the CES conference in Vegas, the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, Detroit Auto Show, Merkel and Sarkozy meeting today, and we have the Italian and Spanish debt auctions this Thursday. So buckle up, Scott. We got a lot going on.
It's nothing that traders aren't used to. Every day last year we came in, we were looking at the headlines, looking at what's next. But overall, very healthy action. If you look here at the chart of the S&P, you will see, even though Tuesday was really the majority of the gains, you had a nice tight range. So within this tight range, you had stocks breaking out, you had some shorts out there. You were able to rotate. So at this particular point, I think the chart still looks really good. You have your October low, you have your November low, December low. We then broke this downtrend, and now we're hovering right in front of the high of last week. I think if we could take out 1284 and close above it, then that 1292 is right in our sights.
For the sector spotlight this morning, we are going to look at the healthcare space. JP Morgan has its big conference this Monday through Thursday, and what's interesting with this conference is a lot of companies tend to pre-announce financial results, and it happens typically in the biotech space.
You know, we haven't been trading these very actively, but I think a few months ago, I talked about Amgen. Amgen was acting very frisky, and if you look, I think the point we spoke about Amgen, it was right when it was breaking out of this channel. This is why you like consolidations and channels. It broke out and went up, and now it's flagging right here. I think if Amgen has some good news, it could trade above this, what is this, about 65, and at that particular point, traders will look for some upside momentum there.
Two other names we're going to look at in the big pharma space, Pfizer and Bristol Myers. We've been talking about Pfizer a lot lately with like these healthy, they're actually growth names, and you typically don't think of big pharma like that, and they pay that nice dividend, which a lot of investors are looking for. Moving into the trenches, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. This is a big one for the tech space. We're going to be looking at three trends here: the consumer, corporate earnings, and trends.
Yes, and the mega cap space has gotten very frisky lately. I think a week ago I started talking about Microsoft, and then look at this move in Microsoft. I haven't seen a move in Microsoft like this in a while. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 up days. If you take a look where it came into, it's coming into some bigger resistance, so it might pause right around here, so you can look for a bit of a cute short, maybe sell the news. But I do ultimately, you buy back Microsoft around 27.50, and I think Microsoft can get to 32 to 35 this year. And overall, for another trade, I like Cisco. Cisco, I know it had misfired a lot last year. There was a positive article in Barron's. Last week I talked about this 19 level. If you look here on Cisco, I think if Cisco can get above this 19 level, traders will be trading it for a quick trade above 19, and we could probably see north of 20.
I think what's also going to be interesting at the Consumer Electronics Show is the fact that these big tech names like your Apple, your Microsoft, your Cisco, are almost like bank holding companies that have so much cash. So speaking of Apple, for quick hits, in the long call version, we're going to take a look at that and Netflix, which you had two great calls on last week.
Well, Apple, we've been trying to hold since that December 20th gap and go above that 390. It's now approaching the old high, so if you take a quick look here on Apple, you will see sometimes it brings out some sellers. Once you get back to those highs for a pause, this was one pivot buy, this was another pivot buy. If you have a lot on, maybe sell a little bit in front of this high, but I do think this stock hits 500 this year. And Netflix, great cash flow trade. I know the stock's broken, but I don't care. You can make fast money when you get a float that's heavily shorted, big volume. We saw that last week when it came in above 75. I'm still trailing my long. I think I'm going to sell some today. Next level is around 93. That's the start of that other gap.
So we have a lot to look on the charts. It's going to be a very busy week, a lot of exciting action, particularly in the healthcare and technology spaces. Don't forget to catch Scott at the end of the day as he wraps up the daily charts for you.
Have a great day trading.